Now, I just want to make a quick video here, and honestly, I don't know what to really think about it, right? Now, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel like this post is very blasphemous, right? Now, obviously, there's a difference between someone, making a meme like that they look like Jesus and making a meme to mock Jesus and to be just like Jesus, right? And like if you give like I don't know, most critical, for example, right? Obviously, there's been memes of him, literally multiple memes of him that he looks like Jesus, back then, especially now too, right? Where like I'll even hear one of my friends, bro, he looks like Jesus or something like that, right? But even then, right, it's not something to be mocking Christ. He looks like Jesus, right? I mean, if you really think about it, if you look at Mr. Beast, right, someone made a whole entire meme about himself because he looks exactly like Mr. Beast. I think back in 2020 or somewhere around there, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But even then, people will just make memes about themselves because they look like someone. But then when you go ahead and, proclaim that they are someone, right, obviously that will get offensive. Now imagine doing that to a god, right? I mean, that's not just offensive, that's somewhat blasphemous in such a way, which is very confusing for a lot of Christians, right? And like it's like, why would he do that if he proclaimed that he was a Christian? And I'll be honest, he said it multiple times. He said it like he doesn't think he'll go to heaven, right? This is not my words, this is his words, right? Even, again, I watched most Critical's video, so I'm probably digging most of his stuff that he said into mine, but I'm also going to try to put in some of my thoughts into it because I do have, like, genuine thoughts, but yeah. Anywho, but pretty much just kind of like he said, that was his own words, right? And not only that, he has literally stated and on Easter has put a false, pastor and stated that like she's the one who put him in Christianity, right? Like I guess like saved him or something like that. And mind you, this false pastor believes in the prosperity gospel, meaning you get $1,000, you give me $1,000 and you go to heaven or something like that, right? And that's obviously false teaching. And it pretty much what it does is it takes away your hunger and it will feed it to someone else. And instead of going to Christianity, you're just going to somewhere else. Like you're literally just like being preyed on by these people, because like it's weird. It's very weird seeing these types of stuff. I mean, especially nowadays and stuff like that, right? So when I find, these type of stuff, it's like, obviously, nowadays it's normal, but what just makes it very surprising, right, is someone, especially someone really big, like Donald Trump proclaiming, Jesus Christ as king, and then ends up, doing a whole prosperity gospel or something like that, then that just feels a little weird to me. I mean, I would respect a lot of people more if they said that they're not Christian, right? Like, I would really respect that a lot more if they said, hey, I'm not a Christian, but, and they'll do whatever they want, right? Like, if they want to start an OnlyFans, I will respect you. Just don't proclaim the name of Jesus, right? I would respect you a lot more for you to do that than proclaiming the name of Jesus, right? And there's multiple times, where people proclaim his name and they do this for money, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's a cash grab, right? A great example for this, now, I don't know her name, but she has about 700,000 followers, and she does, she does not, no, I was going to say she does OF, but she does not do that. No, what she does is she's an athlete, right? Or I think an ex-athlete or something like that. But I'm pretty sure she collabs with people who either do OF or seems like to do OF. But pretty much what it is she collabs with people that sell their bodies online. Now, I don't know if it's OF or not, if they do these types of stuff, I'm not going to lie. But pretty much for me, selling your body is just literally putting yourself, in a sexual position or something like that online just to get attraction, right? That's what I think selling your body is. And this girl, right, does this, right? Now, okay, to be clear, I don't know why I said girl. This woman does this, okay? She's 23 or something like that. She's like 24 or something like that. Anyways, But moving on, pretty much this woman, a full grown woman, she does this type of stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, she's an athlete and she's like selling her body. What I find very weird is when you look at her second page, she has a second page dedicated to Jesus Christ, right? So it's like two different sides of a penny. One side is good, the other side is evil, right? I mean, you could technically do both sides good or both sides evil, but even then, right, it just feels like she's just flipping pennies when she likes, what to do or what to not to do, right? And it's weird to me because, I feel like when it comes with religion, it's not meant for you to switch back and forth. It's just meant for you to stick through all the way till the end. Now, I am a little bit of a hypocrite at this because obviously I switch back and forth when it comes with Christianity. I mean, the reason is because of stuff like this that literally happens 24/7. I mean, you don't even have to look online. You could probably look at, your local neighbor or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where people will openly say that they're Christian, and then in the next moment they will keep doing what they keep doing, and it just feels like, they're just using Jesus as if like, some sort of either like, I don't know. I really don't know what's the point of it, right? Now, obviously for me, there are times where like, I just look at these type of stuff and I just want to stay away from all of these type of stuff. And the thing is, I don't go into a lot of politics or a lot of these things at all, but I feel like I do want to talk about this, and simply because I do feel like this is important to share. And one of the biggest message I want to give out is, if you are a Christian, a self-proclaiming Christian, okay, just stick to it, right? If you don't want to, that's fine, right? If you keep going back and forth, I mean, as long as you just say, hey, I'm not a Christian, and then the next moment you are a Christian, I would rather that happen than just keep sticking to Christianity to the point where it just feels, very confusing, if that makes sense. Which some people does. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously, I used to do that, and I literally just started recently, I guess reading the Bible and stuff like that. I probably felt more conviction nowadays than I have been recently. I have no idea why, but anywho, with all aside, I really would appreciate for people who pretty much, when it comes with Jesus and when it comes with God in the Bible, I would pretty much appreciate with people, not just proclaiming Jesus, but also kind of living it out, right? And if you want to go back and forth, by all means, do that. Literally, I don't care, right? As long as you literally, obviously I do care if that makes sense, but you know what I'm trying to say? As long as you literally just be honest to yourself and to other people, that this is going to be a lot less complicated than most people would think, right? And with that being said, when you find, celebrities, saying they're Christian, and in the next moment they're doing this or that, or even like, again, Donald Trump posting this image, right? It just feels confusing, and it feels a little weird, right? But at the end of the day, even just as regular people, we're not surprised by this. Let's be honest here. Of course, I'm not surprised by any of this at all, right? When someone just says, "Hey, I'm a Christian," and in the next moment, it's like, this happens. I mean, at the end of the day, I have actually grown so immune to these type of stuff. I'm not gonna lie, to the point where when someone says that they're Christian, the first thing I say is, when are they gonna like just mock God? Like, I have been, it's literally just on edge when someone says this nowadays, right? I mean, even when I'm like, like, hey, like, I feel conviction, I'm like, okay, when is the day, I end up just, leaving, right? And it happens, right? Some people will fall away, some people will come back, and it happens, right? But there's a difference between, someone falling away and coming back, and someone just keeps like hitting the rock over and over again, and then they proclaim something that is better than a rock, gold, but then still hits the rock over and over again and just deceives people to just hit the same rock. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, right? But anyways, that's pretty much it on this hot take of, I guess this poll. I wasn't really talking about this whole, Donald Trump thing, but I was just talking about general Christianity and how I feel about it. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Again, listen, Jesus Christ is King, you know. God bless you guys. Other than that, yeah. I'm usually gonna probably not say this a lot in my channel. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I try to stay away a lot from religion and politics, but I'll say it to the point where, you know, if I mean, hey, listen, I'm not gonna like go on. What I'm trying to say, I'm not gonna go on like preaching, but I am gonna confess that Jesus is King, right? Because I'm no preacher. Because listen. No, not everybody's meant to be preachers. Let's be honest. I'm no preacher, but I can at least say that, and I can at least do whatever. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Other than that, make sure to like and subscribe. But yeah, that's it. Bye, guys.